Hi Bundamba community, my name is Emma King and I'm the Head of Senior Schooling here at Bundamba State Secondary College. This video has been created to update Year 11 and Year 12 students and their parents and carers on assessment, teaching and learning here at Bundamba State Secondary College. Late last term, the Queensland Curriculum and Authority Board, or QCAA, considered the challenges faced by Queensland school communities in relation to COVID-19. The QCAA noted that the pandemic had created extraordinary sets of circumstances, which have dramatically increased pressures on students, their families, and teachers. In response, a number of decisions were made to alleviate these pressures currently faced by senior students and their families and school communities. The first section of this video will outline our approach at BSSC to a number of frequently asked questions that impact both Year 11 and Year 12 students. How can I support my Year 11 or Year 12 student when they are learning from home? The role of parents and carers and supporting students as they learn from home is more important than ever. Parents and carers should continue to support their students by providing routine, support, and encouragement. Some key strategies to support students learning from home include: firstly, assisting students to create a learning environment. Ensure that students have access to the equipment needed to learn at home, including a device and internet access. If possible, create a quiet and comfortable learning space away from distractions. Next, take part in establishing a routine. Bundamba students have been encouraged to follow their normal timetable schedule whilst learning from home. This is to ensure consistency with time spent learning across subjects, but also to give students time to check in with their teachers, which leads me to my next point. Finally, encouraging students to communicate with their teachers. Maintaining regular communication with teachers is integral to ensuring that students have an opportunity to ask clarifying questions and receive feedback on their learning. How will students access the practical elements of their subjects? At Bundamba State Secondary College, we have reordered our teaching and learning sequences to ensure that students are able to complete the theoretical components of the course of study whilst learning from home. When students return to school for face-to-face learning, they will complete the practical elements of the course of study. Examples of subjects this would include are hospitality and engineering skills. The next section of this video will outline information relevant to Year 12 learners and their parents and carers. This year's Year 12 are the first cohort to receive an ATAR instead of an OP for eligible students. Queensland has moved away from a system of 100% school-based assessment, which has operated for more than 40 years. In the new system, results are based on students' achievement in 3 internal assessments and 1 external assessment that is set and marked by the QCAA for general syllabuses and 1 common internal assessment for essential syllabuses. Modifications have been made to impact students in both green and white pathways, including subjects in the applied, essential, and general syllabuses. As mentioned before, these decisions have been made to alleviate the pressure experienced by Year 12 students. Revisions made to assessment programs have not compromised the integrity of senior certification of subjects in the applied, essential, or general syllabuses. Adjustments made have impacted simply what is taught and the nature and timing of these assessments. So, how will internal assessment at BSSC be affected? The QCAA has removed 1 summative internal assessment from the total of 4 assessments prescribed in each of the general, essential, and applied syllabuses. In general subjects, students will complete 2 internal assessments and 1 external assessment. In essential subjects, students will complete 2 internal assessments and the Common Internal Assessment, or CIA. The CIA for both Essential English and Essential Mathematics will now be undertaken in Term 4 instead of Term 2. In applied subjects, students will complete 3 internal assessments. There are 8 assessment techniques across the applied syllabuses. The assessment techniques required to be assessed have been outlined by QCAA. The Year 12 Assessment Overview document provides a snapshot of what internal assessment has been removed in each of the general, essential, and applied syllabuses. It is important that students make contact with their teacher to clarify any questions they have about what content will be covered in the external assessment, which may or may not be content from the removed internal assessment. How will external assessment be affected in general subjects? At this stage, the external assessment will be the same one a student would have sat even if there were still 3 summative internal assessments in the general subjects. How will these changes impact my assessment results? Final subject results in general subjects will be calculated from 2 internal assessments and 1 external assessment. In essential subjects, final subject results will be calculated using 2 internal assessments and a common internal assessment developed by the QCAA. In applied subjects, final results will be calculated using the results from the 3 internal assessments. How will these changes impact my QCE? Attainment of a Queensland Certificate Education or QCE will not be impacted by the removal of internal assessments. Students will still accrue points towards their QCE for Units 3 and 4 for every subject they receive a C standard or above on completion of assessment, both internal and external. How will these changes impact my ATAR? The Queensland Tertiary Admissions Centre, QTAC, is responsible for calculating the Australian Tertiary Admissions Rank, or ATAR, for students who are ATAR eligible. QTAC is confident that the reduction in assessment will not have any impact on their ability to calculate ATARs. What does this mean for our Year 11 learners? Units 1 and 2 completed in Year 11 act as the building blocks for Units 3 and 4 in Year 12. Units 1 and 2 support students to become familiar with assessment techniques that will be used in Unit 3 and 4 instruments. Modifications have also been made across Year 11, general, essential and applied subjects to support students. These amendments are outlined in the Year 11 Assessment Overview document. Whilst results for Units 1 and 2 do not count towards overall subject results at the end of Year 12, students will continue to accrue QCE points for each unit of work that they have satisfactorily met all learning objectives. If you have any additional questions that have not been covered in this video, please reach out and contact myself, Emma King, the Head of Senior Schooling, Jared Mitchell, the Deputy Principal of Senior Secondary Learners, or the relevant Head of Department. All contact details for these staff are available via the college's website. Contact details of teachers are available via the Year 11 or Year 12 Assessment Overview document.